What do you do with this? I'll show you. For those of you that don't know, this is a whole tenderloin from a cow. Why would anybody buy this? Well, at work, this is how we get our tenderloins in. This is our filet mignon. Why do we get it this way? Because looking at the price, this is about $50 cheaper than buying individual steaks. This coming in at about $21 a pound. At the local grocery store, this was selling for a 6-ounce steak, was selling for almost $30 a pound. You can save some money. I'll talk to you about storage. I'm going to show you how to break this down. We're not going to cook anything today, but I'm sure you can figure out how to throw these on the grill. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about knife. I've got this 6-inch fillet knife. I picked this up at the restaurant supply store, local restaurant supply. Keep it sharp, hone it. Another thing, I like gloves. Some people are grossed out by touching raw meat. Me, not so much. I've got pans here for destination of said product. And oh, I'll be right back. I forgot my trash can. It's right there. There's going to be some trash. Now at work, we use every scrap of this. Some of the stuff in here at home use, it's not really feasible. So I'm going to show you what's scrap. I'm going to tell you what's good. Some of it's going to take a little bit cleaning to do, but that's okay. I'm going to get my gloves on and we'll start tearing into this. Okay, first step, we got to get it out of this bag. And yeah, I got this at my local warehouse store. You want to be careful. And I'll show you why. The reason why is there's going to be a lot of juices. And you want to make sure you keep things clean. This, trash. Okay, I'll bring this back up here onto my cutting board. My cutting board's a little bit short for this. That happens. Now, first thing you'll notice, I'm going to turn on the other camera so we can see a little bit better. Okay, first thing you're going to notice is that there is this membrane on it. But here's the best part about the tenderloin. A lot of this can come off with just these hands. You don't even need the knife. So I'm just going to dig in underneath and just pull this membrane off. Just slide your fingers underneath. May need to give it a little start, but in general, that membrane is going to come straight off. And what that's also going to do is reveal the chain, also known as the side meat. So when you look at the, you go to buy one of these, it's going to be called, in the United States at least, a PSMO, P-S-M-O. That stands for peeled side meat on. This is the side meat. And trust me, this is peeled compared to what it normally looks like on said critter. So I'm just going to pull off the rest of this membrane. Okay, so it'll give you an idea of what needs to happen. First of all, we need to separate this side meat. I'm just going to run my knife along, and you notice I did pull this off, tearing off that membrane will do that. It'll just identify that chain better. And I'm just going to cut right along the seam between those two. And I'm going to take it all the way down. Some butchers will leave this little cap on there. That's fine if you want. I'm just going to trim this out and use it for scrap. So that's the other thing. There's a lot of meat here, and it's really good tasting meat that can be obtained from this. It's a little work. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out. So that's going to go there. This is going to go into the trash. So if we look at it, we got the main loin, and we've got this little side piece. That side piece, we're going to leave on there. It's fairly well attached. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim down this little point. Just cut it right off. Also, save that. There's some nice little, there's some nice meat in there. What can you do with this? Well, stir fries, Philly cheesesteaks, French dips, all that stuff is possible for that. Or if you're feeling a little daring, steak tartare. Okay. Now, you'll see this silver skin right here. That's got to go. And I'll show you how to get rid of that. I'm going to take my point of my knife about halfway and then just slide it right underneath until I can get my finger under there. See how my finger is? There you go. And then I'm just going to kind of slight sawing with my knife pointed up and pull this strip right out. There we go, trash. At work, we're going to use that for, well, to fortify a stock or something like that. But I'm not planning on running a stock anytime soon, especially a veal or a beef stock. It's going in the trash. By the time I get around to using it, it'll be bad. Now, mind you, I'm planning on freezing a lot of this. So let me continue on with this, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, now the next step. One of the things you'll notice is right here, we've got some of that silver skin that comes right in between the joint of this little mini head and the main tenderloin. That's got to come out. Best way to do that, I could try the stripping method that I showed you to clean up this, but it doesn't quite work very well, and you got to get your knife in there. There's a chance you can damage the meat. Best way to do that is just to cut right underneath and just right along that little separation. And then just cut that piece right out. And I'm going to take this all the way down into this fat there. Okay, so let's just trim up some of the stuff on the top. See how everything else looks. I got a little piece there that I can take right off. I'm not too worried about a little bit of fat left on there. That's a little flavor. Okay, we got the top done. Flip it over. Okay, one thing you'll notice is like this wavy little grain type fat, meat, a little bit of both. That's got to go because we want a nice clean tenderloin. Now, when I bought those steaks the other day, that silver skin, it was left on. I paid them $30 a pound for them to not trim it properly. That's the other reason why you want to do it yourself. Okay, So this has to come off. I'm just going to slide my knife underneath it and take it right down. And when I get down to about the tail, I'm just going to turn my knife and cut off that tail. Again, save that. There's some meat in there. Get a little bit more of this. And now we can clean up the bottom side. There's a little bit of a membrane here we're going to take off. And usually there's a little more silver skin right around here. I don't see it on this one, so I'm not going to worry about it. Got this little piece of fat here. I'm going to take that right out. That'll go in the trash. Now, lots of times, your regular butcher, they're going to save that. That's going into ground meat, or ground beef, or minced beef, whichever you want to call it, in your neck of the woods. Okay, it's pretty much clean. All I got to do is trim off a little bit. I can trim this down, like here. Take care of that. Again, there's a little that I can trim off of that. There is a little bit more off of this that can be trimmed up. A little bit of fat, like I said, I'm not too worried about, but I want to make sure that I got all of the silver skin off, because that is pretty chewy stuff. And I'm going to take off here, just clean this up a little bit. Again, this stuff is usable. A regular butcher, that's going into the grind. Okay, here we go. Looking pretty good. Just some little cleanup here and there. But that's pretty much it. That's what you get. Now, some people will separate this side off. But at work, I still get steaks out of it. I truss this together, just tie them up, and then I've got usually some good, at work we sell 10 ounce and 8 ounce. I think 10's a little bit big, but some people buy it. But I'll trim that off of this section here, and then the rest will be 8s. But my wife and my wife's not a big meat eater. She's her diet is limited, so I'm going to take this out and I'm going to cut little medallions out of that and then cut the rest of it. So you can watch if you want. And this, I'm going to go for about 6 ounces. But I'm not going to worry if I'm over or under, because that's the beauty about that. You don't have to worry about being exact on your cut. At work, I got to be exact. I got to be within about half an ounce. Now I just cut off some steaks. When you get to the tail, you're going to get these awkward, taller than they are wider type cuts. Here's what I do. I'm just going to take my knife and cut it not all the way through. It's called butterfly. But I'm not going to go all the way through. Maybe a little bit farther through. Fold it over, and look what I got. A nice steak. Same can be done with this piece too. I'm going to trim up just a little bit of that tail. And again, halfway through, not cut all the way through, bisecting it, turn it over. There you go. So I hope this helped. You can save some money. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steaks out of that. About 6 ounces. And to tell you the truth, it's perfect for me. Now, if you want to go 8 ounces, 10 ounces, yeah, you can get a few less out of that, a lot less. But what I'm going to do with these is these are going to get put in my vacuum sealer, and I'm going to freeze them. I'm going to save individually wrap each one of these, except for these two. These two are dinner. But I'm going to individually wrap all these. I'm going to string these, tie some string around them. String. Here's your steak. Just wrap the string around it. I go through once, go through twice, just like you know the starting of tying your shoes. But you do that extra little loop through, then come through, and again, like you're starting to tie your shoelaces, just once. There you go. Trim off the string, and you've got yourself a nice steak that'll hold together. But it's a good idea to know this, because that way you could see whether your butcher or your grocery store or whatever is doing it correctly. Chances are your butcher is. Grocery store, I'm not too sure. Okay, have fun. I'll see you next time. This is Chef Terry. Check out these guys over here, and also go down there, like, subscribe, hit the comments, leave me a comment, all that fun stuff. I'll talk to you later. See you next time.